So how was you just got back from us talking about the Japan marathon a little bit.
Yeah, Japan Marathon. I just completed number 6 of the 6 major marathons.
That's insane, dude.
That was definitely a feat. And now, just when I complete the 6th one, they're talking about adding a 7th one for the first time since the inception of the 6 major marathons. The 6 major marathons is the Abbott Industry sponsored feat, if you will.
Okay.
And the 6 major marathons is 3 in the United States and 3 outside of the United States. 3 in the United States is Chicago Marathon, Boston Marathon, and New York Marathon. Then you have Berlin, Germany, London, and Tokyo, and I've completed all 6. But now they're adding a 7th one, and it looks like Sydney, Australia, will be the 7th.
Okay.
So I look like I'll be doing that.
Yeah, they just don't want you to stop.
I thought Tokyo was going to be my last one, but, and I'm not much of a runner, man, at all. I mean, the running is not, a lifelong thrill of mine. It's just, my first time running 5 miles nonstop in my life, I was probably between 38 and 40.
Really?
Yeah, so I hadn't been doing it for long at all.
Wow.
And what made me decide to do the marathons, I'm the first barbershop in the country to charter a Boy Scout organization. So my Boy Scout troop was doing something, doing a Philmont trip, a high adventure camping trip, 10-day camping trip with another troop. And the leader of that troop, who is now a very good friend of mine, this was over 10 years ago, when we kept in contact and we became really good friends. But at any rate, we were on a camping trip in Philmont, and it was just him and I, the only adults, and we had 7 boys that was with us, and we did a lot of talking throughout that 10 days camping trip and hiking trip. And him and I were both going through a rough patch in our life in terms of a divorce.
Okay.
And he said, "Man, I think I'm gonna run me another marathon. I haven't run a marathon in 20 years since I was an undergrad." He's a surgeon. He's a surgeon for Freighter in a medical college. So he said, "Man, you ought to do it with me, man. I'm telling you, man, it relieves a lot of stress, man. I know you're always smiling, man. You always seem to be in a great mood, but the stress is getting to you in one way or another. I'm sure. I'm sure."
Yeah.
So at any rate, I said, "Man, I don't even know." I said, "Marathon is 22 miles, right?" I didn't even know how long a marathon was. It was 20. He said, "No, 26.2." So I agreed on that camping trip, man. And when we got back, he said, "Man, it's one in April. Boston Marathon is coming up in April." I said, "Boy, I heard of Boston Marathon." I'm like, "Hey, man, this seems like it might be a little, some fun." Mm-hmm. So he said he helped me get started or whatever. And I got programs on online or whatever, running training programs, and never had an official coach at all. Started running more and more and more, and before you know it, April came, we ran it. And in the process of running the Boston Marathon, we talked to a lot of individuals that they needed Boston to maybe complete their 6 majors. Then we started learning about what the 6 majors was. And then he said, "Man, you want to do the 6 majors?" I'm like, "Dude, this damn near killed me."
Yeah.
So, hey, after a little convincing, man, I ended up agreeing to do the 6 majors, and we did all the marathons together with the exception of Tokyo.
Really?
We did Tokyo last year because I didn't get in. Because Tokyo was all of the 6 majors are tough marathons to get in. They're not, and then Tokyo being the toughest. I would say Tokyo and Boston is probably the 2 toughest marathons to actually get in.
Do you have to have
waitlist?
Oh, waitlist, or is there like a qualified?
Qualify, or you have to, or you can get on a charity, which we did. Even the charities, there's a wait.
Oh,
where you can raise money. It's tough, man. You got a lot of enthusiasts out there.
Yeah.
And it's something. I mean, because they say only 1% of the world will actually run a marathon. And but that 1% is still a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? I mean, it's only a Tokyo Marathon is 38,000 people to run that.
Okay.
The largest marathon in the world is New York. That's 50,000. Then you have 30 to 38,000 for Tokyo, 30,000 for Boston. I think Chicago have about 40,000. New York has 50,000. And
wow.
It's still waiting list.
That's bigger than I thought.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Huh? Did you run the same pace with that guy the whole time then?
No, we never actually ran the same pace. I'm not your typical marathon runner at all. So I don't run for time. until I just completed the 6 major marathons and saw my certificate where it had all my finish times. If you would have told me, if you'd have told me 2 weeks ago, I'll give you $1 million if you can tell me what was one of your times for one of your marathons, I promise you I wouldn't get that $1 million.
Really?
I never knew. I don't run for.
Yeah.
I ran to complete it.
Yeah.
And I was always finding myself helping people at the end. Even when I just did Tokyo, I helped this woman that was clearly about to give up. She was very emotional, and this was like the last 3 miles. I helped her through that last 3 miles. It was tough.
Wow.
I mean, it's no joke. So I went into a walk run thing with her, and I'm talking to her, and I'm getting to know her. So that took away. I mean, I probably could have finished 45 minutes, sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it, man. I mean, it's probably the best way to see a location, see a country or a big city is running through it.
Yeah.
And it availed me to meet some amazing people that I will for sure keep in touch with.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
my biggest struggle in running a marathon was the Berlin Marathon. I was totally underprepared. Actually, I was going to cancel it, but I had too much money invested. I had a lot going on at that time when I ran Berlin, but I still ended up running in. And this guy named Kyle, he's an ex-cop, New York City cop, and I met him on the trail. I met him in mile 19, maybe 18. We ran from mile 18 all the way to 26.2 together, and we kept in touch. Wow. That was back in 2018, and now Kyle and I are still friends.
Really?
And it's because we helped each other
to
the finish line.
Huh. That's so cool.
I think everybody should, at least run one marathon.
Okay.
It really allows you to dig deep, really deep in your mind, your soul. I mean, it really takes it. I would like to think running a marathon is about 80% mental.
Right.
It's only 20% physical. I honestly believe if you can, I tell people if you can run 10 miles nonstop with no ailments afterwards, you could run a marathon.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some amazing mental toughness to get through it. Because your body going to be hurting. You're going to want to give up. You're going to want to, stop. Your mind is going to be telling you, what the heck are you doing? Your body's going to be like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
But your mind can, you really see how strong, your mind truly is when you run a marathon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thinking about so many different things while you're running, and it takes hours. Just imagine, really, putting your body under something, man, some stress for that many hours.
Yeah. 3,
4, 5 hours. Some people 6 hours.
Yeah.
7
Running
hours.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Running sucks. It's not fun, and it's I've heard it like it's all mental. I've ran maybe like 5 miles max. It's like the most I've ever done. And like halfway through, it's like, dude, what am I doing?
That was me when I was your age. When I was 22 years old, man, I probably didn't run 3 miles ever in my life. I don't think I did.
Yeah. How hard was it when you got back into it?
When I got into running, I mean, it was tough because, I mean, you want to stop, man.
Yeah.
You're like, why? I'm not getting paid for this,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. It's one of those things that you got to just stretch your lungs, stretch your heart, stretch your body in terms of, really push the limits. That's the only way you can add more miles is pushing the envelope,
Mm-hmm.